Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome to another TFO Thursday. That's right, it is Thursday, which means it is TFO Thursday here in the Priority 1 Armada. And that means that we team up together and we play random TFOs for an hour. And we earn marks, XP, loot, dill, elite marks, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so, what's going on? I suppose the first thing I should say is welcome everyone who's tuned in. So let's see, we've got Lord Ford, I see them chatting there. We got Nova, we've got Dozer8915, we got Teacher Guy. Yeah, so thank you all so much for tuning in, guys. Right, okay. DMK Kaiju? DM Kaiju? Is that right? Ronnie Jackson Jr., how's it going, Ronnie? Thanks for tuning in, guys. We really, really appreciate it. I am currently trying to get a KDF team running here. So we'll see. Actually, here I need to respond to Nova. So I'll run the KDF team if I could type properly. The KDF, and he can run backup. There we go. Sorry. So there was a contingency plan put in place, and it seems we no longer need that contingency plan. So we're going to go back to basically there was somebody who was on the schedule tonight to run TFOs, and we hadn't heard from them, so we weren't sure if they were going to turn up or not. But they've turned up, so they can run a team now. Doesn't look like I'm getting any bites here on the KDF side. Any of you guys want to join me on the KDF side? This is the last call for KDF, otherwise I'm going doing TFOs all on my own. Hey Phoenix, how's it going, dude? Formerly known as Dahar Master Kaiju, shortened for practicality. Aha, there's the K's. Alright, so there's Nova. So it looks like most of the players tonight are on the Fed side. So we don't have a full KDF team. But we will run with who we have, nonetheless. Oh, Teacher Guy says, very uncertain internet today. They're working on it. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Believe me, I know it's horrible when your internet craps out or goes down. You really are so disconnected when your internet goes down. A couple of weeks ago there, this entire area went out for the guts of a day. Something like a pole had come down, somebody crashed into a pole, and the line ended up getting cut, and it completely knocked out my entire area. And with streaming services, weren't able to watch TV, wasn't able to get on the internet, wasn't able to get onto the game. Most of the day. All right. But yeah, there's so much stuff that you're relying upon with the internet, and when it goes down, it's like electricity. I remember that happened actually. Well, mind you, it was a long time ago, but what was it now? There was the main fuse had blown in the house, and realized just how dependent. It was over a weekend, and like all the stores were closed, so there was no way of getting a replacement fuse, and no TV, no kettle, no fridge, no cooker, no nothing, no PC. It was like, oh my god, we are completely depending upon electricity so much. When you don't have it, there is literally nothing you can do. And that was a bit of a wake-up call. Right, so we are going to go with who we have. So let's get queued up here. We'll queue up for randoms. Oh, nice. Popped straight away. So we'll accept that. What's going on in chat? Lord Ford says, I got lucky today, did my event early this morning, just before the patch hit, which took 3 hours for me. Nice one. Yeah, I love it when you can get in an extra daily before the server goes down. Teacher Guy says, this is an area thing too. My service just slows down and the game drops for me every few minutes. Oh my god. I am so sorry. Yeah, that is horrible. Like I said, we are so dependent upon... We're becoming more dependent upon the internet. But we are 100% dependent upon electricity. When there ain't no lecky, you can't do anything, But anyway, we are here to do TFOs. And for those of you just tuning in and wondering what's going on, this is one of our weekly reoccurring events where we team up together and we run random TFOs for an hour within the Priority 1 Armada. And it looks like we've got Cat's favourite, Gravity Kills. Love it. Don't forget to pit your tribble. What is going on in the Priority 1 Armada? So, big news. Well, it's not big news, actually. We've been talking about this since January of this year. Our website is shutting down on Sunday, April 30th, if I have my dates right. Our website is shutting down. Long story short, basically the host with which we are with are ceasing their service, and it's not just us, but they have like 27 million users, and come Sunday they're turning the whole thing off and they're shifting their business model to something to do with cryptocurrency. And as a result, everyone who has a website hosted with them, that website will be deleted or whatever from their servers. Unfortunately, that means that we are losing our website. So, well, actually, no, that's wrong. I think I want to say less than 17 hours from now, we are releasing our new replacement website. And we are going to announce to the entire community and provide a temporary link to the new website. Come May the 1st or May the 2nd, you will be able to once again get to our website by going to priority1armada.com. We will simply be transferring over the domain from the old website to the new website. But less than 17 hours from now, we're going to give everybody a temporary link to the new website until we transfer the domain over. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we have allowed our Patreon supporters to sign up on the new website. Basically, we have some incredible Patreon supporters, and we gave the link to our new website, the temporary link, to our patrons so that they could get signed up there ahead of everyone else. I need a drink. Oh, that's much better. Excuse me. So if you are a Patreon supporter and you haven't signed up on our new website, you can go to our Patreon page and you will find a link there in the recent posts or that will direct you to our new website. Now things they're pretty basic. We have some basic guides created on the new website. We have all the rank information and channel information and all that sort of stuff is all backed up and on there already. And we have the forms set up to represent the same forms that we had on our old website. Now, we were actually able to back up the old forms up as far as January of this year. Unfortunately, anything after January we have not been able to back up. We have, since January, since we found out about this, we have been searching for a replacement. And once we found that replacement, we have been working really, really hard to back up as much information as we possibly can, because we've had this website for 10 years, and there's a lot of info on there. So we've been working really, really hard to get as much information backed up as possible, and basically it's a race. We've been racing to get this done before April 30th of this year. Now, I thankfully have only, I think, 2 or 3 remaining categories of data that I have to back up, and I'm probably going to be working on it here later on tonight, actually. Basically we will be finished. We will have everything backed up that we are able to back up a day or two ahead of the deadline, and the deadline being April 30th. But tomorrow, less than 17 hours from now, everyone will be able to go to our new replacement website and will be able to sign up there, and from that point onwards, let's say May 1st or May 2nd, the transition will be permanent, and you'll be able to seek help in the forums for build advice, share pictures and all that sort of stuff on the new website. So that's the big thing that's going on now at the moment, and like I said, we're going announcing that to the entire community less than 17 hours from now. And I'm trying to think what else has been going on. For those of you who don't know, we do have a new fleet, Priority 1 Deca, which is a new fleet that we have in the community. This is our 10th primary fleet. Altogether, we have 14 active fleets, but 10 of them are what we call primary fleets. 4 of them are specialist fleets. And we figured with this year being our 10th year anniversary, imagine we are 10 years old come June 17th of this year. 10 years old, which is incredible. But we figured with this year being our 10th year anniversary, why not, as part of the celebration, activate a 10th primary fleet? And so we did, and we're getting members into it now. Projects are cycling very, very regularly on that fleet, like daily they're going on cooldown. So it's going to be really easy to earn fleet credits in that fleet. And if you have any Delta recruits, so let's say if you have a Starfleet Delta recruit, you'll be able to put it in there if it's on the Fed side. If you have a Romulan, maybe you might consider putting in an application to join the Romulan Republic, which is one of our specialist fleets. So primary fleets accept everyone and anyone, but our specialist fleets let's queue up. Yep, we got it. Sweet. All right, accept that. Close this down. So our specialist fleets are different in that they only accept certain races. So, for example, the Ferengi Alliance only accepts Ferengi characters because only Ferengi are in the Ferengi Alliance. The Romulan Republic only accepts Romulans or Remans. It doesn't accept aliens, only Romulans or Remans, or liberated Romulans or Remans. And the difference with the specialist fleets is that you have instant access to all fleet stores from the very first rank, and all promotions are 25% less compared to any of our primary fleets. And we're very strict with like, so in all of our primary fleets, I think most of them are around the 70 member mark, and it's really incredible because the fleets are like tier 4 working towards tier 5, and there's only like 70 members in each of them. There was something else I was going to say there now, and I've completely forgotten what it was. It was to do with specialist fleets. Oh, yes, I know what it was. So the other thing about the specialist fleets is they're not like our primary fleets where you start off as a lieutenant, then you become a lieutenant commander, and then a commander and captain. The ranks are different. They're themed to go along with the theme of the fleet. So, for example, instead of starting off as the lieutenant in the Ferengi Alliance, you start off as an apprentice, and you move up to become a sales assistant, an assistant manager, and eventually a daemon, and eventually a liquidator. So the ranks are themed to go along with the fleet. And like that, the Romulan Republic, you basically start off and work your way up to become a senator in the Romulan Republic. If you have any Romulan characters who are aligned with the Fed side, you can put in a very simple application on the website to join the Romulan Republic. And if your Romulan is KDF aligned, well, then they can join the Romulan Tal Shiar. And you start off there as, is it an Inquisitor? I can't remember now, but I know you work your way up to become a major in the Romulan Tal Shiar. When you get to the 5th rank, which is, major, liquidator, senator, we give you a free max level, fully modded special item. So, for example, in the Romulan fleets, it's a Romulan repeater pistol, Mark 15 Epic, fully modded. So that's just a little something that we do in the community, and it's really, really easy to earn fleet credits in those fleets because there isn't as many members fighting, for fleet credits. And plus, promotions are 25% less compared to our primary fleets. But anyway, how did I get onto that? Oh, I was talking about Deca. Yes, Deca. Deca is our new fleet. So we were going to name Deca with the next letter in the Greek alphabet. So currently we have, the Alpha fleet, then the Beta fleet, then the Gamma fleet, the Delta fleet, the Epsilon fleet, and the Zeta fleet. And the next letter in the Greek alphabet was Eta or Eta, but we didn't know how to pronounce that properly. We didn't know which one was right. And our XO cat came up with the great idea of why not name it the number 10 in Greek, which is Deca. Deca is 10 in Greek. And, like a decahedron, for example. We decided to go with 10 in the Greek alphabet, which is Deca. So that's the origins of the name for Deca Fleet. But the members are starting to join now. All of our new sign-ups on the website are going into Deca fleet. The members are going up. Projects are cycling around really, really fast in that fleet. We're getting a lot of new members who are moving up in rank very, very quickly and easily. Grey Wolf says, I'm pretty sure Ita is pronounced Ita. And forgive me if I am butchering that, because I am the butcher of names. And I always mess these kinds of things up. But anyway, like I said, you know, at the time we were like, is it Eta or Ita? We just weren't sure. And then Kat came up with this great idea of why not go with the number 10. And that's what we do. That's what we done. We're like, yeah, this is easier. But it's a nice little bit of lore, you know, for the community. The origins of the naming for that fleet. So yeah. Thanks, Nova. I see that. We will leave here after this, and we'll get Dozer in on the team. What stage are we at now? 204. All right, we're more than halfway through this TFO. Come on. Fly through his broken hull. Yeah, love it. So what's going on with you guys? Have any of you guys got any news or scandal or, you know, anything going on? Any shenanigans that I don't know about? Yeah, what's going on with you? Let me know what's happening, guys. Don't be afraid to chat. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. We do this every week. This is one of our weekly reoccurring events. We have several events that take place during the week, and TFO Thursday is just one of those events. And yeah, it gives us a chance to team up and play some TFOs together with other Priority 1 Armada members. Grey Wolf says it's actually pretty fitting alternate name. It's essentially your 10th anniversary, and to name a fleet 10. Yeah, that's exactly the thinking that we had. Like I said, when Kat thought of it, and we thought about it for a minute. We're like, this is perfect, you know, 10-year anniversary, 10th primary fleet. Let's call it Deca. Kat's really good with stuff like that. She's very, very clever with things like that, and we are very lucky to have her in the community. But yeah, I have to offer full credit for that to Kat. That was totally her thing that she came up with, and we just basically loved it, and we gave it the green light. Right. So we just have to clear up the last few remaining ships, and I think there's one over here. Let's make our way over to them. Grey Wolf says he hasn't logged in today. What was this morning's patch about? It's just Thursday. It's just Thursday, that's all. You know, weekly maintenance. They do patch every Thursday. And yeah, the patch notes weren't huge. So they made some changes to the exchange, and I know people are going to harp on about this. Unfortunately, they're not quite working as intended. But look at, you know, this is how code works. Basically, if you were at the 2 billion EC mark, then if you sold an item on the exchange, that EC for that item was going to be lost, because the cap is 2 billion EC. And the change that they tried to make today was going to let that EC be sent to you via the mail system, so that you do not lose it. The same thing was going to be done with dilithium as well. Once you got to 10 million dilithium, it would just stop refining, because up to this point, basically what's been happening is um, once you got to 10 million dilithium, you would keep refining, but you wouldn't be getting the dill. So it was using it and then throwing it away in the one go. P-Cube says, I hear nothing is going through the mail still. Yeah, it's going to take a week. You know, they'll fix it in next Thursday's patch. But this is just the way coding works, you know. I learned this myself years ago. I would build a web page on the website, and the coding and everything was perfect. And when I made the page live, all of a sudden the whole thing was up in a heap, and it wasn't like the way I had designed the page at all. And you'd have to go back in and you'd have to tweak the code, and it's just the way things happen with coding. Coding is very tricky and temperamental. 28, alright, so we're going to queue up. So let's join random, pop straight away, accept that. Excellent. So yeah, the patch today was intended to make those changes. Apparently there are some issues with it. It's not working as intended. So obviously over the next week they're going to work on it. They're going to try and fix it, and I would imagine, to be honest, I would imagine that the fix will probably come next Thursday, most likely. They might do a patch on Tuesday, who knows? You know, they might do it. It just depends. But I know people do harp on about these things, and you know, it's a new feature. This is just the way coding works, and you haven't lost anything by it not working as intended. You know, it's not the end of the world, at least in my opinion anyway. You know, when they get it working, they'll put out a patch and we'll have it as a new feature in game. Okay, don't forget to pay your tribbles, guys. Don't forget to pay your tribbles. What else is going on? Have you guys got any news for me? Lord Ford says, I've peaked at Jedi Survivor and now I'm extremely sad that I don't have a console that supports it. The game looks amazing with excellent storytelling. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait until, like, I'm talking 6 months to a year, probably, before I pick up that game. It's an expensive game. It's like 80 or 90 bucks on Steam. It's an expensive game. And I just spent a bunch of money buying those legendary packs, or the legendary pack, I should say, recently in store. So I think I'm going to wait and pick up the game later when there's maybe, I don't know, a 10 or 20% sale. And I have no doubt whatsoever that it's going to be incredible. The first game was absolutely phenomenal. Loved it. Very, very incredible story. Very well told. The gameplay was fantastic. And the graphics were amazing as well. Is that you, Nova? Yeah, alright, we'll let you go that way. I'm going to go this way. Where are these guys going? You're going that way. I'll go this way. So, wow, look at this. Yeah, was really, really impressed with the first game. Oh, has anybody seen the it's not the teaser. It's a little promo video with the guy that plays the main protagonist and Mark Hamill. It's doing the rounds on Twitter. It is so funny. It's like Mark Hamill giving God, I can't remember what the actor's name is now. I'm sorry about that. But the guy that plays the main protagonist in Jedi Survivor, and Mark Hamill giving him tips and instructing him on the Force. It is so funny. I love it. I thought it was very well done. There's one scene in it, and he's like, "You've got two lightsabers? I never got two lightsabers." I seen it earlier today, and I laughed my head off. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. But yeah, maybe take a look. Take a look on YouTube or something. Do a search for it, and yeah, you'll get a giggle out of it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Lord Ford says, saw that, thought it was amazingly hilarious. Ronnie Jackson Jr. says, saw it on Twitter. Yeah, same place as me. I saw it on Twitter as well. Very well done. A nice little touch for the release of Jedi Survivor. But yeah, I'm probably going to wait, like I said, 6 months to a year and then pick up the game. And I probably will be picking it up now only for I recently spent over $100 on Stow, and I'm a poor person. Unfortunately, I'm a poor person, so I can't afford to be dropping $200 in the space of 2 weeks on games. Unfortunately, I wish that was different. So, like I said, I'm probably going to wait 6 months to a year and pick it up whenever there's a sale, something like that. Lord Ford says, it does cost a lot of greasy money. Yep, it really, really does. But the size of the game, like I've heard it's 150 gigs. Like that's enormous. You know, between 60 and 90 gigs is kind of, you know, that's the norm for games. 150 is massive. And the way I've taken that is it's either very linear, you know, where you have a barrier to your left and a barrier to your right, and there's a path in the middle, and that's the only way you can go. But it has incredible cutscenes and graphics and voice acting and all that, and that's where the size has gone. It's gone into, you know, the cutscenes and what have you, and as a result, the game is very linear and doesn't allow for a lot of exploration. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of when games are like that. I prefer there to be a little bit of, you know, open world exploration, play the way you want to play kind of thing, you know, take things in your own time. I prefer things that way. Now I know each to their own, but 150 gigs, I'm curious what way the game is going to be. Is it going to be open world, or is it going to be very linear and very little exploration or anything like that? DM Kaiju says, that's bigger than World of Warcraft. Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue how big World of Warcraft is. I'm sure it's probably a big game as well. I remember probably the most recent game that I got that was quite sizable was the remake of Final Fantasy VII. That was like 90 something gigs, and unfortunately that was very, very linear, very little exploration, but the cutscenes, the voice acting, the graphics, everything was incredible. It was really, really good. But the gameplay itself was very linear, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't enjoy it as much as I had hoped I would enjoy it. Yeah, which was a little bit disappointing, unfortunately for me. But I'm sure there are plenty of people who play that game and they loved it themselves. Lord Ford says it seems to be leaning into there's where you need to go, but there's a lot of ways to get there option. Right, that's not bad. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's acceptable. Like I said, when I play the remake of Final Fantasy VII, that was very, here's your path and there's no deviating from it whatsoever. It's boring. That's how I perceive it. It's boring when the path is laid out in front of you and you can't go left or right or do anything. But that's just the way I feel about things like that. Somebody else could have a totally different opinion, and I'm sure that both are completely valid. I'm surprised, actually, they didn't go for May the 4th. Does anybody know why they didn't go for a release date of May the 4th? Is there something coming out on May the 4th in the Star Wars franchise? Anyone know? I haven't got a clue. I mean, they're releasing it, now, the 28th. So tomorrow, they're releasing the game. And if they had only waited 6 days, they could have released it on May the 4th. Has Lucas got something big coming out on May the 4th that was conflicting with it, maybe? That's an interesting question, I think. I don't have an answer for it. I honestly don't know. So maybe some of you guys know. Lord Ford says they've also really upped the customization options. Ah, interesting. Alright, so where are we now? We've got 4 minutes left, so let's just stick around here. The 3 pillars are doing good. When we get down to about 3.5 minutes, we'll start setting up for the bosses. Right, let's start putting down some more crystal prisms. Let's get Barney out here as well, actually. Oh, they're all assimilated. Well, they look like they're assimilated. They're walking like they're assimilated. Well, not anymore. Of course, as soon as I open my mouth, they change. Alright, let's start getting set up down here for the bosses. Like that. Buff up. Ruin these guys' day. Ah! What the hell did he hit me with? Alright, let's get ready for our next TFO. We'll pick up our rewards and join. Alright, and accept that, and away we go. Ronnie Jackson Jr. says we get free code on SWTOR on May the 4th. Any idea what the code is for? I mean, it's clearly not for the game. They ain't going to give that game away for free. Cost them millions. I'm sure whatever they're giving away on SWTOR is just it's like the anniversary in Stowe. That Stowe does a week of giveaways where they just give out stuff, usually between the $5 and $10 mark per day. So yeah, May the 4th, I'm sure they're doing something similar like that as well. Yeah. I actually recently, a couple of days ago, I re-downloaded SWTOR and created a new character, and oh my god, I hated it. I was getting creamed on the first planet. I was getting absolutely annihilated. yeah, it was just horrible. It was really, really horrible. It was absolutely getting destroyed. And I logged out and I uninstalled it again. I was like, it wasn't fun. I wasn't getting it. This happened to me the last time as well. I really struggled to get into SWTOR and the mechanics, and found it clunky and just very different from STO. Like, the way I've put it, let me get a drink here first. When I started playing STO, I understood what an attack pattern was. That made sense to me. You know, an attack pattern is a buff or a debuff on your target. I understood what engineering team was. I understood what science team was, and transfer shield strength. Those powers made sense to me, and I just can't get it. I don't know what the hell. There's something wrong with me, clearly. I'm just not getting it for SWTOR. I can't make sense of it, unfortunately, because I'd love to get into the game, because especially over the last few years, I really got into Star Wars and the content that's been coming out for, well, probably the last 10 years. There's been some really great stuff. Well, with the exception of the movies. I mean, the JJ movies I just hate so much. I have so many issues with those movies. But let's go over here and help these guys. Alright, let's cloak. We will bypass the... Oh no, they're going for the decoys. You don't go for the decoys. The Clone Wars, for example, that was absolutely fantastic. I actually just got finished with a rewatch of the Clone Wars, and every time I watch that, I love it more. It's just such a good show. Ahsoka is such an incredible character. Really, really enjoy that character so much. Oh yeah, who's stoked for the Ahsoka show? Does anyone know actually the release date of the Ahsoka show? Is that like June or July of this year? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember now. Right, let's go over here. We need one more to join us. Lord Ford says, the only recent of the live movies that I liked was Rogue One. Yes, Rogue One, man. What a movie. What a movie. So good. Brent says it's August when Ahsoka comes out. Alright, okay, so it's a while away yet. But the way time is going lately, we won't find August getting here. I mean, here we are on... Well, actually, we're basically in May. We're only a couple of days away from the beginning of May. So yeah, it's not going to take long at all. Phoenix says that Vader scene in Rogue One was amazing. Yeah, no, definitely. Do you know what? Actually, I need to rewatch Rogue One. It's been a while since I checked out that movie. Actually, it's probably since it came out. That was probably the last time I watched that movie. So yeah, I really do need to give that a rewatch. But yes, a great movie. Absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed it for sure. Now, do I have somebody... Oh, yes. Who's this guy? It's Dozer. Alright, Dozer, you take Starbase side, I'll take Planet side. I am parked in the sweet spot. So you work on the portals up that end, and I've got this end. Lord Ford says, we're trapped in a nebula full of temporal anomalies, sir. The flow of time is being affected. Huh? Are you talking about Rogue One? Ronnie Jackson says there's a new Star Wars movie coming. Really? I didn't hear that. Tell me more. Would you like to? I would like to know more. Tell me more. Please tell me JJ isn't involved in it. Oh my god, I would really hate that. That'd just be awful, because whatever he talks or whatever he touches, he should have stick to TV shows. That's what he should have stuck to instead of movies. Nova says Azor Nebula a bit. Oh, for Lord Ford. Yep, gotcha. Brent Gile says, I can't wait for Jedi Survivor. It's only a few hours away. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, a lot of people really looking forward to that game. For sure, definitely. So Ahsoka's coming out in August. So is there actually nothing planned for May the 4th? Ooh, Lord Ford says it looks like Filoni is behind the new movie. That is going to be awesome. Dave Filoni, and I'm probably butchering that name. That guy, along with Jon Favreau, they get Star Wars. They understand the franchise. They understand the IP. And they are just putting out incredible content. Those guys, like that that's who they needed, not J.J. Abrams. But hey, look, that's just my opinion. But for me, J.J. was a massive mistake, and they really, really, really need to focus more on Dave and Jon Favreau. Definitely. Because those guys, they are just knocking it out of the park every time with everything they're putting out. They're just doing such an incredible job. And I'm actually jealous, because I feel like we don't have anyone like that on the Star Trek side. Who's taking the IP and doing incredible work with it. We have great directors. We have Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, brilliant directors. They have proved themselves that they are really, really good directors. But for showrunners and, managing the IP, we don't have that, at least in my opinion. And like I said, I'm really, really jealous that we can't get somebody like that on the Star Trek side of things. For me, it's a real pity. Real pity. Brent Gile says there are multiple new movies in the works. Filoni with the Mando era movies. Some are planned for the Old Republic, and some rebuilding the Jedi Order with Rey after Rise of Skywalker. Alright, interesting. Interesting. The new Star Wars is the new Jedi Order. Turcot, how's it going, Turcot? Thanks for tuning in, dude. Yeah. It's a pity, Maybe someday we'll get somebody who really understands the IP. Well, no, actually, do you know what? Mike McMahon, he's a brilliant addition. Oh, Brent just said it there, Mike McMahon, from Lord X. They are great additions, but Mike McMahon unfortunately deals with animation and doesn't really do, hasn't really, really about it. He just doesn't do it. He's animation, he's not live action, which is a real pity, because he gets the Star Trek IP, and I think it comes across that he understands the IP. Yeah, I think we need somebody like Mike McMahon for live action, who just doesn't deal with animation, but he's about the comedy as well, and the jokes and the references and the throwbacks to previous Trek, and which is why it comes across that he understands the IP, because he's watched it all clearly. He knows what he's talking about. But if we could just get somebody like that for the live action. Who in CBS thought it was a great idea to give Alex Kurtzman a 5-year contract for $120 million? Man, that is just crazy in my book. Aggressively relaxing says, are we doing full Picard spoilers right now? No, we're not doing Picard spoilers. We haven't talked about Picard, actually. We can talk about Picard if you want to. I'm sure most of us have seen it now at this stage. And queue up for the next one. She pops straight away. Excelente. How are we doing here? We've done 4 TFOs. Oh, right. Nice. Let's move these down here. Clean up my inventory a little bit. Grey Wolf, I've never watched an episode of Picard, I guess. Would love to hear your spoiler-free opinion then. Grey Wolf, I don't have Paramount Plus. No spoilers then. Brent, I find it funny that Star Wars is willing to make movies based off the old Republic video games, and yet Trek completely writes out its video games. Yeah. I mean, for me, STO, it's canon for me. Personal choice. I mean, for a long time there, I think STO was doing a better job at telling Trek stories than Discovery was. But, there are people out there who like Discovery. Not everyone hates it. I'm not a fan. I think the best season was probably season 2. But that was purely because of Anson Mount. I think he carried that season. And I'm really impressed with season 1 of Strange New Worlds. I mean, how good is that show? That is just absolutely fantastic. I have loved that show so much. Can't wait for a second one.
We don't have much time. Drop the facility.
Right, let's get in here and we'll take down Zenith Station 1. And we'll buff up. Get the shields down, and then we'll start transporting over like that.
First away team was successfully transported to Zenith 1 station. Another away team was secured to Zenith 1 station. We have successfully...
Oh, sweet. That actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to take. I mean, they're sitting there waiting to send over more assault teams, and we've already captured it. Alright, where's Zenith's... there it is there. That's what I want. And we'll buff up again. Using this decade-old game to effectively give all of your shows a video game is really interesting relationship Stowe fell into. Yeah, very true. Very true. Cannot disagree with that. Okay, I think this will be the last team. Yep. Alright, so now we'll move on to station number 3. For those of you who don't know, it looks like we're getting an upgrade week starting next week. Yeah, which is going to be awesome. I have 3 characters waiting to be upgraded, and I plan to make full use of the upgrade week when it's here. I always try and have 1 or 2 characters ready to rock for when they do an upgrade weekend. But if I do recall correctly, it's not an upgrade weekend, it's actually an upgrade week. It's going to be a 7-day long event, which is fantastic, which is great. I really wish they would do more 7-day long events, bonus events, you know, like marks and such. Dilithium I can understand, you know, Dilithium, yeah, maybe you know, keep them to be weekends, or you know, the 3 or 4 days each. Maybe mix them up. Don't always do them over the weekend, because you know there are people who work at the weekends and they're off during the week. So you know, maybe mix it up and have Dilithium weekends sometimes be over the weekend and sometimes during the week. I think that would be a good thing to do. But you know, things like bonus marks. Yeah, you know, 7 days. Like, all right, let's pick some of the big ones, or not the big ones, but the ones that have issues. R&D weekends. All right, if you're doing any R&D, basically you're doing 1 round of research projects per day, and if it's only around for a weekend, that's only 3 or 4 days worth of a bonus that you've got, which is nothing really. You know, it's crap. Let's be honest about it. It's crap. It's absolutely rubbish. To make it worthwhile, you would need 7 days of a bonus. Then, you know, you actually have gotten something worthwhile out of it. You know? But again, that's just my opinion. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you think, you know, a R&D weekend is crap because you only get 3 or 4 days worth of a bonus? What other ones are there? Actually, no, here, on to something different. I think a good new event would be an Endeavor weekend where you get extra Endeavor progress. That would be a good new one for them to introduce. What do you think about that one, guys? Would you like to see them start doing bonus Endeavor weekends / weeks where you got, this might be wishful thinking, but let's say 50% extra XP for your endeavors? That'd be nice. I think that'd be a great addition to the game, and I think players would absolutely love it. And they would say the devs are geniuses. You know, that's what I think. I think it'd be an absolutely great addition to the game, because the Endeavor system, it's like, what, a 3-year-long system now if you're doing it every day? Something like that. I haven't ran the numbers in quite a while, but I think, yeah, an Endeavor weekend. And again, that would be like the R&D one. It would need to be 7 days, because if it's only 3 or 4 days, then, you know, you only have 1 set of projects per day to do anyway. So to make it worthwhile, it needs to be 7 days. You know, where you're like, yes, this has made a difference. Maybe we might suggest that to the devs at some point. See if we could get something happening with it. Alright, let's buff up for these guys. Start moving backwards. Sweet. Alright, move on to the next guy. Man, they are really avoiding me, aren't they? They're all focused on the transports. Can we get some flanking? Oh no, I don't have raider flanking on the ship. Ah, well. let's repair the shields. How we doing? Zenith Station capture transports remaining. 4. Okay. Alright, we're not doing too bad. Nova and... Who is that? Eureka. Well, they're doing a good job with the missiles. Anyway, well done, guys down there. Oh, crap, look at this.
Destroy the missile.
Alright. Get the next batch of guys. There we go. Now we'll move on to these two. Phew. That was close. Nova says she believes the other guy is a pug. That's fine. That's totally fine. Right, so we just have these two transports. So let's do a bit of cleaning up here. Alright, one transport remaining. So I think we just have to wait for them to get to... Ah, there it is. There it is. Nice. So, now we head over to this asteroid. How's it going, Moorblade? Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. Alright, how many seconds? 2 seconds. Alright.
Transports as we withdraw. Ferrer restores main power. Klingon transport disabled.
Somebody needs to grab that transport.
Disable and capture Klingon transport. Klingon transport disabled. Track it back to the start.
Alright, somebody's already got that one. Oh, wait, I've got it. Alright, so let me take off here now. And we'll kick in evasive maneuvers.
The Klingon transport has been secured. Klingon transport disabled. Tractor it back to our starting area.
And we should be dropping it off. There we are, we've dropped it off. Now we can kick in full impulse and get back here. Oh, let's take out these guys actually. Alright.
Klingon transport disabled. Tractor it back to our starting area. The Klingon transport has been secured.
Just get in range here now. And then we'll unleash hell. Cry havoc and let's slip the dogs a ball. Looks like somebody already got that one. That's fine. We'll keep on working on the rest of these guys. Those cleave ships are ridiculous, aren't they? Well, I think they're ridiculous. Just not a practical design at all. Okay, now we head over here and we'll kick in evasive maneuvers. And we should be dropping it off any second here now. Yep, there we go. Alright, I think we just have one more. And then we're on to the boss stage. If I remember right. Yep. We cannot skip this cutscene, unfortunately. Bit of loot over here I want to get. And then we'll swing around and get into the fight. Just like that. Come on, Karis Dreadnought. We almost have him. 10%. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and he's gone. Nice. Well done, everyone. That was a great run of things. Yeah, I guess we can warp out. That'll be the last TFO of the night. Looks like we ran about 10 minutes over time, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Yeah, so anything oh yeah, actually, if you didn't know, there is a Phoenix prize pack event going on at the moment. Nova, forget it, you and your one more after last week picking gravity kills for me. No way, we ain't doing that. Especially since it's the Universal Endeavor. Yeah. But anyway, Phoenix Prize Pack event, which means once per day you can come here to Drozana Station, talk to Grim, this guy here, or you can go to Deep Space Nine and you can pick up one free Phoenix Prize Pack per day. So if you haven't picked up yours already, be sure to go to Drozana Station or Deep Space Nine and pick up your free one once every 20 hours for the next, I don't know, 5 or 7 days, something like that. So yeah, keep that in mind. What else is there? Oh yeah, what we talked about at the start of the show. Tomorrow we are giving the brand new temporary link to our new website. You will be able to check that out and sign up there from tomorrow. We will have a link on our Discord server. We will have a link on our old website, and it'll be included in the news post. So you will be able to sign up on our brand new website. Less than 16 hours from now, we are going to put out the news post for that. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see if we can find somebody here to raid. And we're going to do a raid here on Twitch. And once we find somebody, Zana Con Namiro. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Right. So, thank you all so much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate all of your support so much. We will be back on the air on Saturday night. We will be on the air again on Tuesday, and we'll be on the air again this time next week for another TFO Thursday. So, thank you all so much for tuning in, and hope to see you all next time. Until then, live long and prosper. Take care, guys. Adios.